They are short-lived.
She is done.
End of summer, pretty much. I mean, the boring parts of summer are all that's left, but like tail end.
So I think the burnout went well. Welcome back to the crypt. No, but seriously, I did actually hit a wee bit of burnout. My video last week was late. I actually did have it uploaded, but I couldn't bring myself to make the thumbnail. And I completely forgot about it for a while. So good news was I was resting as much as possible and I took the time to do that. Bad news is completing my task last week was a little bit of a struggle. I have been apartment hunting during this time as well, so I've just been really, really distracted and also packing and trying to pre-film for next month because it's just going to be a lot. And we 100% need to have some shout outs. Sorry, it took me a while to compile all of the names. I thought I had and then couldn't find my notes because I wrote them in somewhere else. So I'm trying to be more organized. I think these are the last couple pages of this notebook, which means I get to move into a cleaner one, which is good because this one I just kept moving between different pages and I think that was causing some confusion. It's kind of like my file organization on my computer. I do better than some people I know because I do actually name my files, but do I name them super unique names? Not often, honestly. So here's some shout outs to people who survived the recent M.E.L event with me, M.E.L Rebooted. This is a huge shout out to you guys. We had 14 participants grand total, which was super cool. Haley writes, Nicolette reads, R.A. Howells, Hella Reaver, Megan Kerman, Cassie aka Nova, Brandon Hemrock, Jane Pivetta, Thoughts Before REM, Natalie M.L. Romer, Jennifer Roche, Xena Kingdom, It's Dark in This Cave, Precious. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the M.E.L event, even if it was only for a tiny bit. I appreciate every single one of you. It really helps to kind of have a couple more people because it just gives me a little bit more push to the final finish line. And I did finish. I did complete draft 2. I'm very happy to say. I am still working on converting everything to manuscript format. As per usual, formatting can have a little bit of finicky things here and there. I will have a video about that. Yeah, that was the last hurrah of summer. I did some sparklers with a friend last night, and that's it. I did finish a book. Dear writer, are you in burnout? From Becca Syme. As you can see, I've got a lot of note tags. Most of my note tags are kind of like, what the hell was that? But some of them are decent. Like, I've got one over here, page 90. When an expert is selling a book, they are often publishing their own system or their own preference as gospel without any consideration of whether or not others can follow it. I've done things on Rachel's class, The Magic Academy. I've done some videos talking about my complex feelings behind that. And the plot embryo, I'm going to tackle the plot embryo, by the way, later this year. So if you're curious about that, if you're curious about like seeing how some of these systems go against each other, I actually will be doing a plot outline battle royale coming in October. Spoiler alert, that's coming up. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification because I am going to pit 3 different plotting systems against each other. One of them will be the plot embryo. And I just wrote as a note embryo because that's the first thing I thought of when it comes to some authors. They're not being scammy. They genuinely believe to their core that their system works. And they're so excited about it, they want to share that with others, which is admirable. The problem is they're charging for these classes, and it's a system that really just works for them. And while some other people might find it useful, a lot of people are not, because not everyone writes the same, and that's okay. The problem is that a lot of these systems are marketed as gospel. These things are marketed as this is the way to do this. A great example of that, which I will have a more dedicated video discussing this book, like it's going to be a community chat because I want your guys' opinions as well, because Save the Cat writes a novel. I feel like this is kind of a controversial thing. Like, some people either absolutely love it or they are like, I feel like it's a little dividing. Like your thoughts on it. But on the cover of this book, it says, the last book on novel writing you'll ever need. Stuff like that is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to writing books. And some of my favorite writing books do not have lines like that on them. And I recognize that I can't fully blame this on the author or anything like that, because oftentimes covers and how they sell themselves have nothing to do with the author. They're the result of the publishing company, they're the result of the marketing team. I guarantee you that the author didn't necessarily okay this. I'm almost positive. And it's such a shame. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I have mixed feelings on this book. But those kinds of pull-ins, the last book you'll ever need about writing, the last system you'll ever use, the end-all, be-all, it just doesn't exist, y'all. There is no one tool that does every single job in your house. Doesn't exist. But when it comes to systems, I do agree with Becca on the fact that everyone has something different. And I think sometimes when we do that, comparing ourselves to someone else's system, that can accelerate a burnout, because then we try to force ourselves to use a system that doesn't work for us. And the most progress I've been able to get done on my draft, on my work, has been when I completely let go of comparing my road to anybody else's, and I just focus on what I'm doing. And the best way I can do it that makes me satisfied with the job I've done. So thinking of my satisfaction versus the quantity of work done, if that makes any sense. If you would like to see more thoughts on this, I definitely talk about this in the M.E.L Discord, which I will leave a new, fresh link to the Discord down below, since these things expire every 7 days. Hop on in. Also, let me know what you guys are reading this month. I hope you guys rested after the M.E.L event. I hope you guys have been resting. I know it's hard to rest. I know. Trust me, I know. There's always the fear that if I rest now, what if I don't get back to it? If I rest now, what if I'm a bad writer? What if I'm lazy? What if I'm, lazy is a really big one. I'm trying to erase lazy from my vocabulary, and it's very difficult to do. Definitely subscribe if you're interested on the discussion for Save the Cat coming up later this month. Thank you guys so much. And if you're interested in the flip through for September, it's going to be like a space marine theme. Please keep watching. We got a flip through coming up. And you're not interested in that? That's chill. I'll see you next time. Wow, that's low.